So you're running into problems with people giving you the one-word answer. Okay, sure, fine. Or let's even just say a colder answer, which is a series of a couple words like, we're going to wait. Or, you know what, we put our search on hold. Many times we end up seeing these things as an objection. And what really is an objection? Well, stick around because we'll cover the 3 steps you can take to overcome them every single time, and also define what really an objection is so you can start looking at it in a more positive way. Well, thanks for sticking around. And on today's segment of The Agent Life, we know that if you're going to be a professional in this business, this industry is going to cause a lot of conversations to not experience flow. And really, when you think about what an objection really is just an interruption to the flow of your conversation. And for most of us, we understand that, as Tom shares, for about every 40 to 50 real estate related conversations, you will end up getting one transaction. So if the goal every single day is to be in conversation with people, the challenge when you look at different types of people, well, let's talk about those. You have strangers, you have acquaintances, you have friends, and you have family members. Usually those 4 classes of relationships tend to have different types of conversations because of the lack or the actual amount of rapport you have with them. So let's just start more so maybe with strangers and acquaintances, because friends, it's a little easier to communicate with. So if you're running into any type of conversation and you experience an objection, let's first look at an objection in a positive way, which is literally just something that stops the flow of a conversation. It doesn't mean that somebody is not going to do business with you or that a conversation will not continue. What it is you have to look at it in a positive light right away. So how do we prove this to be true? Is when somebody tells you, I'm going to wait, do you have a positive or negative emotion? When somebody tells you, I'm going to talk to another agent, do you have a positive or negative emotion? Most of the time it's negative because of what we want to have happen. And if we're in this industry for the right reasons, we understand that it's not going to happen the way we want. It's going to happen the way that people we serve want it to be. And a lot of times they're just going to share their feelings with us, which is a dangerous place to be for many of us. And what we need to do is we need to better respond to it. So the 3 steps you can take anytime you receive any form of an objection is to first isolate and find out, is that really the objection, or are there other ones? And there's a couple techniques you can use, but today I just want to cover something called ARP: acknowledge, respond, pivot. And the easiest way to look at this is, let's just say somebody said, you know what, we're waiting to figure out the divorce is finalized before we move on to making a decision. You know what? Thanks for sharing that with me. Acknowledgement. Response. Many times I talk to people when it comes to something as serious as a divorce, as we understand that real estate takes a second place. So let me ask you, is there any other concerns you have outside of the divorce that's going to prevent you from selling your home to move to Dallas by the end of the summer? And as you can see, that acknowledge, response, and pivot allows you to isolate an objection because maybe they do have other concerns, but also at the same time, stay in conversation. Because at that point, if they go, no, really the only concern we have is the divorce, is now it becomes very easy for you to say, well, great. It sounds like we're going to have an understanding of whether or not the divorce is finalized by, and you have your X date, which let's just call it 10 days from now. So now you can move to the present and the future, meaning, well, let's talk about 10 days from now. Assuming that the divorce is finalized, let me ask you. And now you can move into your questions of, where do they want to live? What type of home are they looking for? Where are they going to be? When do they want to be there by? What things are important to them? And you already see that if somebody's willing to give you your time, and remember, why will they give you your time? Is because you have energy. You're smiling. You're excited. And the hard part is, and you answer this question for me, can you fake being positive? I think for most people, they have a level of intuition that they know whether or not you're creating a genuine opportunity. And if you've followed the 9 rules to sales success, we know you got to show a great representation of yourself every single day. You have to build rapport through interest. You can see being interested in people and asking questions. And remember, your success is based off of the quality and quantity of questions you ask. And then lastly, creating genuine opportunity. So the genuine opportunity is to, when somebody objects, stay in flow by acknowledge, respond, and a pivot question that leads you to learning more about where are people thinking, meaning past, present, or future, their time frame, and overall their experience and or feelings. Remember, feelings are a good thing when it comes to learning about other people. So looking forward to talking to you guys next time on The Agent Life. But if you're going to be a real estate agent, whether that be a new one or a successful top 1%, like I could spend the majority of my time with, what you'll find out is that we're going to have to acknowledge, respond, pivot, and handle objections all the time. But soon, there is no such thing as an objection. There's just a lag to the natural flow of a conversation, and you're the expert in making that continue or return.